Welcome back to Algo.js. Today's question is LeetCode 252 meeting rooms. So given an array of meeting time intervals, where intervals I is equal to start I, end I, determine if a person could attend all meetings. So here in the first example, we have an output of false, and the reason for that is our first interval start is 0, end is equal to 30, and then the next array is 5 to 10, and the final array is 15 to 20. So these two intervals are in between 0 and 30. So there is an overlap there. So this is going to return false. In the second example, we have 7 and 10 and 2 and 4. These are not overlapping, so the answer is going to return true. So this is a good introductory question to intervals. With this question, the first step to solving it is to sort the input array. And we're going to sort it based on the first values within the array. So like the second example, we have 7 and 10, 2 and 4. We need to sort this just to make sure that it's easier for us to navigate through this problem. So with any interval question, I like to draw out the grid. So we're going to go up in 5s here. So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. And we're going to plot each of these arrays within this grid. So 0 to 30, 5 to 10, and 15 to 20. As you can see, we have an overlap here. And we have an overlap here. So the key points in question involves the current, end. So let's just call this array, right? Let's call this array current. We have start and end. So start is equal to 0, end is equal to 30. And then we have current plus 1. We have start and end. So how can we tell if there is an overlap between current and current plus 1? Well, we take this end value of current and we compare it to the start value of current plus 1. If the end value of current is greater than the start value of current plus 1, we have an overlap, in which case we can just return false. For our second example, the first thing to do is to sort this array. So we're going to plot this out. So it's going to be, and here we can clearly see that there is no overlap because this value here, so current end, is less than current plus 1 start. So the person could attend both meetings in this example. So firstly, let's sort intervals based on their first value. So it's going to be A at 0 minus B at 0. Let's create a start variable, which we're going to set to 0, and an end variable, which we're going to set to 1. So these are going to be the indexes within the arrays. We need to loop through intervals. So I is equal to 0, I is less than intervals.length minus 1. So we're doing minus 1 because we're comparing two values. And this way, by minusing 1 from the interval.length, it means that we won't go out of bounds. If intervals I at end, so if the current interval end value is greater than intervals I plus 1, so current plus 1, start, we can return false, else return true. So whenever we reach a point where the current value at end is greater than the current plus 1 value at start, we can return false. If that never occurs within this for loop, we return true because we have found that there are no overlaps within this array of arrays. So let's give this a run. Submit it. And there you go.